taking over, that's a promise, not a threat.
Uppercut, season off top, you stop breathing.
For these fights is the reason why, for our third and final recap, why this person is now is in the box of public eye. Of course,
perfect segue. Shit.
Of course, I'm talking about none other than fucking Jake Paul, who finally was able to find an opponent after the whole fallout with Hakeem Rockman Jr. and the lesser talented Tommy Fury.
The way you said that, the lesser talented, unheralded, like,
yeah. I put respect on Hakeem Rockman's name because he does follow us and everything like that. So I put respect on his name. Because, but I mean, after all things,
although he went Hollywood, though, he need to fight Dreamland.
Right. Yeah. Shout out to Dreamland before we get into that one. Yeah, Dreamland. Dude scored a nice little KO on the YouTube portion of the card. Dude that wasn't really he was trying to not gauge and then trying to spoil.
Yeah, he was doing, but he was effective with the spoiling, but he was getting cocky with the spoiling. Like, the thing is, like, he would do his little moves and patience and shout outs to Dreamland's fucking patience, because it's like you could low-key get the vibe that he kind of knew what dude was doing, so he didn't overcommit and he didn't underperform. Like, he took a few hard shots that the dude would throw that was on some surprise shit when you spoiling. And the thing is, if the spoiler ass nigga, I think his name was Sumter,
yeah,
if he was really trying to win, anytime he would land one of those hard counters, he would have followed it up with a little more. Instead, he would goof off and be dancing and smiling and
right.
And it's like, this motherfucker, like you're putting yourself in the cannon fodder category instead of like, maybe I could win this and give this a real go. Like, if you was a Campbell Hatton opponent, you would have really went for it. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Maybe if you was even a Nico Ali Walsh opponent. But for some, but for some reason, it's like, and he had success like this, like several times. Like, it wasn't like it just worked once or twice. Like, it was actually working. Like, he was having success with it. But it's like, you can only have so much success doing the same special move over and over until it gets predictable, and you can't spam surprises. Like,
yep,
motherfucker thought he was the goddamn that one nigga that was teleporting in Interview with the Vampire. Like, like, yeah, motherfucker. Like, you thought you was like, you thought you was smart, huh? You think you Nightcrawler? I knew you was gonna end up there, bitch. Yeah, like, and so when Dreamland caught him, he capitalized and he kind of Tito Trinidad him out of there after that. Like,
yeah, he did. And
the rest is history.
Yeah, and I clapped my hands at that shit. I was like, good, like, finally, cause, I was like, get him out of there, because like, dude was bullshit, and yeah, he had to be taken out of there. So
reminiscent of Chad Dawson's stoppage of I think his name was Ian Gardner.
Yeah, Ian Gardner.
Yeah, that's a throwback for you motherfuckers. I'll be really watching boxing. See, like, 'cause you gotta really watch boxing to even remember that goddamn fight. Like,
right, that was not really a notable fight like that.
Yeah, but if you watch Showbox back in the day, Ian Gardner was one of those spoiler trickster type dudes who could box, but he was awkward, spoiler. Like, he could make he'll give you difficult looks, you know what I mean? Like, And he used to be in there with guys, and he could make you look bad. And Dawson just kind of took him the fuck apart. Like, geez, like, I got it on tape somewhere, but
Word.
All right, I might be online. Goddamn, y'all gonna make me look this motherfucker up. I don't know why I thought of that shit, but yeah.
But then with that, wow, that's such a random ass fight too.
I think that's the king of random fights. That's like, geez, like, how random can you fucking go?
Right, though. But then, I mean, I guess the rest of the undercard can only wish to be as randomly remembered as that. I mean, except for Le'Veon Bell getting his head boxed off You know, where I know P was talking about, you know, dude had footwork, but his boxing, he had no type of boxing skill, like not even a little bit. Like, you know, because all he was doing was just moving, and then you know, trying to move his head. But then Hall was able to double up, like even triple up his right hand and catch him. I'm just like, yikes! Like, you know, you say you're training in boxing all this time, and that's why motherfuckers should really kind of like not. Some motherfuckers should be like Kendall Gill. Kendall Gill went to boxing and he wasn't on no national card. And even Kendall Gill, when you saw some of his fights on YouTube, dude actually looked like he actually put in some real work. Whereas Le'Veon Bell looked like he was kind of like bullshitting because
these niggas don't even look as good as Willie D. Like,
yes,
and I say that respectfully.
Well, Willie D did box amateur growing up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, it's nice that you like boxing, you love boxing, but yeah, I was like, you know, you should, you know, some of these guys should really be careful about wanting to be on, you know, just be on TV and trying to like, oh, hey, do this, because I mean, Le'Veon
Bell got the resources to do it better.
Yeah, I mean, Le'Veon, I mean, he dropped that. I mean, the judges gave him, he lost that fight, you know, but it's just like, yeah, it's like, bro, like, yeah, I would not go back on TV again until you know. You realize that you have a jab. You actually, you know, you can do two things at once.
Don't care like the level of clout he wanted to achieve has been unlocked. Like he got it. Like,
yeah, either I'll go back to fucking football. Like seriously, like, you know,
I didn't even know what the fuck he was on. He a football player?
Yeah.
Oh damn! Like, geez, get out of my sport, damn it! Like, leave now.
Yeah.
Fight me next. Fuck that.
Yeah, Andrew. Yeah, Bell was trying to do that jab to the body, overhand right, over and over again. Yeah, because that's how he got Adrian C. Pearson. Well, yeah, that's how he tried. That's how he got Pearson out.
He don't even deserve that last name. Get the fuck out of here, nigga. Like that's over too. Like, come on. Like,
yeah. He didn't. I mean, I think he got gassed off the KO because he knocked out another nigga that didn't really have boxing skill like that. And then then he fought a UFC fighter who looked like he moved like he was in mud, but at least he had some boxing skill. So, and bam, that's what you get.
These niggas don't be training. Like, if I don't see the amount, look, I better see Blueface amount of training videos for me to start taking some of you niggas serious. Like,
yeah,
like honestly, because if y'all letting rappers outwork y'all in the gym, something's wrong, and y'all supposed to be athletes,
right?
Like, God, dog, like, what's going on here? It's like,
although most of those rappers in the gym might be worse than the football players. Blueface is just an exception. Although for all that ability, Blueface chooses to use it on his girlfriend. But that's another story.
I don't know. Seemed like he be defending himself to me, man. That violence seemed like it kind of go both ways over there, man.
She's very unstable.
Yeah, it's some crazy shit. I'm just saying.
We're talking about Lizzo's Halloween costume, by the way, listeners.
Stop making me laugh. I'm hungry as a motherfucker, and I'm like deciding if I'm gonna go to the gym after this. So it's like, damn.
Hey man, I always go fasted. That's me though, But the rest of the card wasn't as it was. Anderson Silva, he scored a nice little. He's like the big prospect that Jake got 7-0, now 8-0 with 8 knockouts. He had the crowd going with his little knockout and stuff like that, and it was a card that probably needed something more bigger than Le'Veon Bell being on that shit. So. But then the main event,
they needed real names, and it seemed like no one showed up to the event until the main event.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's how it was. And I was like, damn, I was like, because at first it looked like, damn, this shit wasn't even full. But when it's time for the main event, that shit was full. And then it was Jake Paul, and you had Anderson Silva in there. And I will say this too, Jake Paul did improve as a boxer. He did improve. I know
that's high praise coming from Pat.
Yeah, that's he's improved. Every fight he's looked a little better.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because I'm not saying improving that he can. I think he can really be like a pro or even a journeyman type of deal, or easily. But I like the stuff that I saw in the first fight with whatchamacallit, like where he gassed out and he had panic attacks because he got clocked for the first time and shit like that. I was like, yeah, this kid doesn't have it. Like, mentally doesn't have it. But like him and Anderson Silva, I mean, the fight was decent to me. Like, I mean, I don't know what it is to you, but I thought it was a decent scrap, for what it was.
It was a fluff fight, but and honestly, Android, I don't know who the fuck they're talking about. I didn't see this kid fight. I only saw the main event, but yeah, maybe we're old because like he said the name.
He's popular with the younger generation and shit.
Yeah, Anderson Silva. Yeah, he's
like, like that version of the Kid Austin, Floyd Schofield kind of.
Yeah, I mean, 18-year-old still being able to body a seasoned journeyman is still impressive. But yeah,
it's still impressive.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly don't know what this guy's ceiling is just yet, though. But hey,
never know for a while, these guys are really fun.
But yeah, with Jake Paul and Anderson Silva, though, I mean, one thing's for sure. I mean, Jake's boxing has improved, But I mean, I still thought if he improved, like he should have gotten Silva a little bit. He could have gotten him out of there.
He still does bad habits. Like he improved, but I think it's because, like, I'm sorry. Continue, man. My apologies.
No, because I mean, I was saying, because Silva did start out strong or whatever. So it's like, Silva was
strong. The nigga he only threw one punch that landed in the first.
Well, strong
round.
for him. Like, I'm not talking about strong. I mean, it wasn't like Paul knew what to really do with it. I mean, except he caught like Silva did throw some shots at him, but Paul was catching him on his gloves. Whereas before, he wouldn't do that. I mean, that wasn't something that he did. But the funny thing is, Silva can only maintain that for like three good rounds, maybe even 4 before he started getting tired. And then after that, it was just like. But then Jake Paul was trying to spam that right hand over and over and over again. He was trying
because Jake Paul wasn't throwing a real jab. Like Jake Paul is predictable as fuck. Like, and I think this is the real reason why he doesn't want to fight like a younger boxer. Because a younger boxer, their mind, they're gonna see that and they're gonna pick up on that. Like, I felt like Silva was kind of this was like a boxing school session. Like, Silva was giving him different looks.
Yeah.
And not doing it.
His chest up, my fault.
And I'm sorry, just not really capitalizing on a lot of shit he could have. Like, it felt like Silva was just letting Jake off the hook for the first 4 rounds. And then let Jake Paul get into the fight, and then he decided to kind of fight back. It just, I don't know. It just felt like a whole choreographed session. Like, I don't know. Like, fight just ain't fake real.
Some fishy.
Yeah, I'm not. And the knockdown was real to me. Like, the knockdown was real because the way they was squared up, but just the fight itself. Like, Anderson Silva kept missing obvious fucking shots,
and I was like, and that was one because I mean, Silva is, I mean, even in the fucking Chavez fight, Drew managed to fucking cut up Chavez Jr., but you can't cut up Jake Paul. Like, what's going on? That was the weird thing. Like, I mean, Silva,
like he wasn't like hitting like sitting on his punches with Paul because he landed a decent amount on Paul. Like, this is the most I've seen Paul get hit.
Right, and this time
the uppercut especially.
Yeah, at least this time, but at least I mean, Paul at least took the punches better. Like, he wasn't having panic attacks in the ring like he was against like Woodley. There we go, that's his name. And then he took the shots though, but yeah, but then also it's in the bigger picture. It's just like Jake Paul is looking like this against a 47-year-old guy who's had maybe 4 pro fights on top of a long MMA career.
And Jake Paul ain't do much for the first half too. Mm-hmm. It's like he should have been able to outwork Anderson Silva from the get-go. Like, he kind of pressed him and got outboxed in spots, missed until he finally was able to keep loading up on the right hand, and then that's what he sold out on for the rest of the fight. And overall his boxing ability's gotten better, but he's too predictable. Hands low, brings back the punches, like the lag time on his shots.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he got a younger fighter will pick up on that. Like,
yeah, and of course now, but they try to keep the train moving. It's like, hey, Anderson Silva, he knocked down the legend in the fight. And then of course now it's just like, hey, of course his little post fight speech was kind of classic. The dude was calling out everybody. I have no idea why he keeps calling out Canelo. And I know he called out Nate Diaz, which is probably his next fight. I mean, the Nate Diaz fight is probably going to be his next fucking fight into doing this shit. But hey, it's just like somebody's going to get him. But pretty much we all know what it is now. I mean, basically he's taking from the Floyd playbook. Like, hey, I'm hated. Let me go fight somebody of notoriety, and then because they're going to pay me just to see me get knocked out or whatever. And that's that.
Yeah, they're gonna be orchestrated, winnable fights for him. Like, which is nothing wrong with that. Like, he has his lane. He needed and the thing is, it was crazy. Throughout the fight, you could tell the crowd was into the fight. Like, the crowd was acting like this was like a barn burner off of damn Friday Night Fights back with Teddy and Tessitore.
Yeah,
like when they would like when Silva would land punches, the crowd would ooh and ah. When Jake Paul would land, ooh and ah. When there were certain misses that were real good, like swing misses, these niggas were ooh, like. And I'm like, this fight is mid as fuck. Like, that just showed me one thing. Like, if the fans resonate with a fighter and they really care about the fucking fighters, good or bad, it just makes the fight better in their eyes, especially if the fight has a decent little pace. And after the fourth round, it got a little decent pace. Like,
right.
It just lets me know that, damn it, man, these superstar boxers, these Crawford, the Spence, the Tanks, these promoters, they're really fucking up the bag right now, because like regular ass niggas is gonna get famous next boxing and making a killing, and the YouTubers are like the middleman right now. They're like the transitional piece. Like, you seeing these TikTokers and motherfuckers getting more famous and resonating with regular people. They're slowly taking the casual audience away from boxing.
Right.
And if next year doesn't have like at least 3 big significant fights in each division, you're gonna see more of this shit. Because the fight, like, the only way they'll salvage this shit if you start putting Jake Paul or the TikToker or YouTuber fights with real boxing.
Right. Which of course they won't do, because it'll cause a whole variety of issues and injuries. Serious injuries.
No, I'm saying like the cards. I'm not saying match them up. No, match them up.
I know that's what
the fuck. I know Ryan Garcia beats Jake Paul. Like, the fuck.
I was saying,
put him on the same card. Nah, I ain't heartless. Nah.
Yeah, I was to say, like, goddamn, nigga, you more of a bloodthirsty ghoul than I thought, nigga. If you want to see that.
Nah, but that's how you gonna do, because look, if you would have did that, the Jake Paul arena wouldn't look empty until the goddamn main event.
Right.
Because hardcores would have been watching the damn good Cobain if you would have put some decent in there.
No, you're right.
They're gonna need each other. Like, they're gonna realize it's too late in the game. Like, boxing ain't gonna fix itself, so they may as well just marry this shit and be a one happily fucking family, because it's only just gonna get more outrageous. So attach yourself like the fucking parasite you are and just work together. Because that's all fucking boxing is. Goddamn sport of parasites and niggas getting their piece. Right. While the fans is hopefully getting something out of it.
Right. But and let this shit start getting these pay-per-view buy rates again. Like, let us say, hey, that these YouTubers and influencers, sold 1 million pay-per-views, in the U.S. alone and shit like that, then yeah, boxing.
Yeah, let this shit end up having more pay-per-view buys than Wilder.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't think it does more than 100. But even then, that's still more than Wilder shit, which is bad.
It'll do more than 77 or 75, whatever. It is.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, which isn't a good look.
Not at all.
You know,
the quote unquote face of American heavyweight boxing getting outsold by a YouTuber.
Yeah, and hey, this is boxing. Boxing brought it on itself. It's like, hey, all we ask is you make the big fights, and these fights stay underground. This, but you don't do these fights, and then these fights eventually start bubbling to the surface because they keep getting them forward. So
yeah, they taking the casual audience because look, people been wanting to see. Casuals been asking for the Silva and Paul fight for a while. Even certain boxing fans asked for it because they felt Silva would win. So I thought Silva would win. And,
yeah,
he had a good little effort. Like he won like maybe 3-4 rounds. But even then, it's like Jake Paul got you that in a timely manner. He got that fight within a year.
Right.
It just he got in at a point where his momentum kind of slowed down because he had so many hiccups trying to secure a fight.
Right.
But he still gave you the fight in a timely manner. Boxing, just imagine if a boxer has a hiccup. Like, you might never ever get that fight.
Facts.
So it's like, and casuals are tired of that. Like, even regular hardcore fans like us, like, niggas is tired of being, you got the carrot in front of the fucking horse. Like, chill. Like we either let us put the carrot on a plate or just throw the fucking carrot away. Cause we see y'all got like a damn broccoli hanging in front of a donkey or some shit, and y'all
did you have to say broccoli? Could you just stick with carrot?
Like, well, y'all got the carrot. Like, y'all gave the donkey his carrot on a plate, nigga. And it's like he's getting to enjoy his shit, but we over here can't. That's what I don't like. Like, casuals are eating. Like, if you into this TikTok social media culture and shit, and these motherfuckers, then you eat.
Right.
Because all these niggas, all these little beefs and shit. The next what's gonna happen, and I'm gonna call it right now. If the rappers and podcast niggas get into this shit, it's over. That's the next wave. All it has to take is one motherfucker. You get a Gilly the Kid or one of these motherfuckers blow up fighting some motherfucker in some celebrity shit. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
One notable decent name. That's all it's gonna take. Let these niggas, it's over. But then it's like every casual base is taken.
Right.
You got the younger and the older. Like, oh my god. Like, don't let Kwame Brown get one of these fights. Don't let Matt Barnes or any of these niggas.
Yeah, she'll be over. Like, yeah. So yeah, boxing. Yeah, you gotta do better, man. Because like I said, if you want Jake Paul to to go to the way. I mean, Jake Paul is probably good in a promoter stance. You don't want him his fights. Just taking all this attention and everything.
Yeah. Like his fights, like should never be bigger than your fights. Now, if I'll say his event might be bigger because if he has a true event, then I think he's gonna line up better fights. Like he's gonna have Serrano on co-main and this, that, and all of that. Yeah, I think he's good in that aspect. But when you have like a shitty card like he had, and then just throw himself as the main event, it's like, But if that ends up doing 200K pay-per-views, it's like that's a problem for y'all. Like,
big problem.
I mean, so yeah, ain't too much really to say. I mean, I know y'all want to get into this real shit